Welcome back to So Good We Named It with Darren
and Kay.
So we are here for episode 4, where we are going to discuss episode 2 of The Golden Palace. And keep in mind, we are the very first podcast dedicated to The Golden Palace, and to my knowledge, the only Golden Girls or Golden Palace podcast with black hosts. Mm-hmm. So this is episode 2. Here we go again. It's called Promotional Consideration. And this is an episode where the girls, as usual, are worried about business at the hotel.
Failing.
I don't know why. It's a lovely hotel, good location. And they decide, well, Rose decides that she's going to put an advertisement on the, what's her name? I think I wrote it down. Barbara, what's her name? Shit, I don't know. Barbara something. Some co-host or some talk show host of Barbara LeGrant do an ad on her show to advertise at the Golden Palace, and then not the contestants, the guests would stay at the hotel. So first of all, are there a lot of major talk shows out of Miami, or is this just a local talk show? I don't know. Just curious. That just came to mind. But it opened up in the kitchen. Don't be looking at my notes. You got your own notes.
I can't even see them notes.
Me neither, actually. I first of all want to say the desserts in their refrigerator always look good as fuck. Like it's the same desserts every episode. It's like some meringue parfait, a chocolate cake,
chocolate mousse cake.
Just looks so good. But,
you hungry?
Yeah. I'm not high, but I don't know.
I still hate the theme song. We're not going to skate past
I
the fact
like
that
it.
I hate it. I hate it.
And if you threw a party.
I hate it. I feel like they should have changed the words or something.
It has nothing to do with the hotel. But
not at all.
I don't know why they try to make it so tropical just because they're on the beach now. I do want to say Oliver definitely overacts for sure. Billy L. Sullivan, if you're listening, feel free to come on the show and defend yourself. But
let me Google his face now, because I didn't like it.
He looked, I don't know. He
His
looked like
face?
a baby doll that got punched in the
mushy.
face. You know what I'm talking about. Google that, everybody. That's how he looked.
What's his name? Billy who?
Billy L. Sullivan. Had to put the L in there so we didn't get confused with another Billy Sullivan. He was in something else after this. Hopefully not much.
Let me see what he looks like today. That ain't him.
That's him. He looks the same. Same
No,
haircut.
look at his nose. He got a bigger nose.
Maybe he got a nose job. Hollywood is tough.
A bigger one?
Maybe that was in at the time.
Maybe everybody was saying he looked like a baby doll who got punched.
Right, so he's like, oh, I gotta get this nose taken care of.
Jeez. We're sorry, Billy L.
I feel like
he looks a little cute.
he was just used as a plot device, like to just move the story along. Like, oh, can you go get those steaks? Here you go. See you later.
Right.
Like, okay. I feel like they just were contractually obligated to give him a certain number of lines, so they just had him do random stuff.
He dead?
He's not dead.
Who is this?
I hope not. After we've been talking about it.
This ain't him.
He's not. Let's look at the date on the gravestone.
It's like 1970.
1934 to 19. That is not Billy L. Sullivan.
Sorry.
Had me worried for a minute. I was like, oh, I've been dragging him, and he's
Jesus.
deceased. R.I.P. Okay. On a side note, Cheech Marin never said anything about Betty's passing.
He hasn't?
No, I looked on his Twitter. He didn't say anything. And I was like, okay, maybe he hasn't been on here. And then I got an alert because I was following him. And he was in like one of those Twitter spaces, like Clubhouse. And he was in there talking about NFTs, which I still don't know what they are.
NFTs?
I don't really know what that means.
What's an NFT?
Exactly. It's like cryptocurrency, but with pictures or something. I don't know. This lady called into work, and she was telling me, like, you got to get into NFTs. I'm like, I don't know what it is.
I don't even know what that is.
But I'm like, oh, you got time for that, but you don't have time to say R.I.P. Betty. Rude.
How rude.
So I unfollowed him. Maybe he was too high to notice. I don't know. But
non-fungible token.
Right. That isn't. What is fungible? Like,
I don't know.
Fungi?
Okay, that's what I thought about. Mushrooms.
I don't know. I guess you sell pictures or something, but the pictures are the currency. It makes no sense.
Like
to me.
feet pictures?
No, like cartoons.
Yeah,
It's
no.
very complicated.
Yeah, let's move
Let's
on.
ask Cheech.
Cheech.
Which one's Cheech?
Come on the show, talk about NFTs.
And why you gave no RIP post to Betty White.
Ooh, bing bong. Continue talking about the episode. That's
looking at my
at.
notes.
Okay.
I thought it said something about a Honda. I need to enlarge this. It says, I don't want to get too close to the screen because I'm not near the microphone. Why are there so many articles about hotels? I feel like every other episode, because I've watched ahead, of course.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, this writer is gonna come do a review on the hotel. Is that a thing? Maybe
because that was the thing in the 80s. They didn't have like social media and stuff. They read papers and articles.
Because even on B. Arthur's old show Amanda's, where she had a hotel, that was in the first episode. Like, oh, this guy is coming and he's gonna do a review. And I'm like, is that really that?
That's what they did. They didn't have social media. How else?
But are people really following it that much? Like, oh, well, this hotel reviewer says this place is terrible. Let's not go there.
Yeah, because that's what they had to go on. What else can they go on? They didn't have Reddit.
I guess. Because I suppose if I'm looking on, like, I would say Hotwire, but I stopped using them because...
Oh, shit.
Look, it says something...
Brace yourself.
Something... I've been told. I'm a Karen.
Okay.
Valentine's Day, like 2-3 years ago, we went to this hotel, and the checkout time was different. It was like... I think it said like 11:59 instead of 11... p.m. instead of a.m. So I was like, I should get to stay till midnight. And they were like, no, you're going to have to check out. I'm like, well, that's not what it says. And they just refused to reimburse me. And they were like, no, we're not doing anything. So I've never used it again. If that's what the booking says, I want to stay till midnight, damn it.
First of all, you booked through a third party. So the hotel, like they told you, is not responsible for the third party booking site.
But Hotwire is who I had the beef with because I booked through Hotwire. HOTWIRE.
Hotwire.com.
We're not endorsing you.
Which one endorse us?
We're going to go with Orbitz.
We'll take it.
With William Shatner. Who's flying to space. So... What was I talking about? Yes, the review.
A review.
Because now, if you go on there, it's going to give you a rating and, TripAdvisor or Trivago or whatever.
So they were like the TripAdvisors.
Maybe so. Maybe I'm just too young to understand.
Yeah.
And then Blanche is quite the businesswoman for somebody who works 12 hours a week. Now she just thinks she's a mogul or something. And just taking everything so seriously. Very much. Even had to get all new outfits with little scarves on her shoulders and stuff. Doing too much. But her and Roland bump heads a lot throughout the series. And I mean, it's interesting, but it's like, geez Louise. But Roland's a little big for his britches. Like, damn, you just work the front desk. You don't own the hotel.
He was running the hotel before they came and bought it.
True, but he usurped her, which I didn't even know what usurp meant until I watched this whole series.
Like they were being insubordinate.
Like in 2019 when it was first put on YouTube. And I Googled it then because I was like, what the hell is usurping?
Like
I
being
never heard. I mean, I know now.
Overriding.
But I didn't know at the time. Yeah. It just wasn't in my vocabulary. So she kept saying it like it's just a commonly used word. Maybe it is. Maybe I just hang around dummies. But
I'm not dumb.
Well, you knew what it was.
Oh, okay.
But I just feel like I understand if you feel like you know everything, because I know everything at every job that I have. But rules are rules, and you have to follow the chain of command, or just do it on the side when they're not looking.
But she was doing a bit much, though. Like, he's been running. Like, yes, you're the owner, we get it, but he's been running the hotel before you got there.
But he was also like, oh, I'll be at the front desk because I need to be there. It's like, okay, well, damn, it is her hotel.
If that's what he been doing, you know what I'm saying? Like
I would have fired
most
him.
Owners don't really have like a hand, like in big businesses and like corporations don't really have a hand in it. They just oversee and monitor. You know what I'm saying? She was.
I'm gonna be in everything.
All right.
Well, not the grunt work, but the administrative stuff. I don't know why I wrote users. What am I talking about? Using what? I don't know. Who's a user?
Who's the user?
I don't know. Why did I say that?
Who is using someone?
I don't know. They did use Oliver a lot. Like, here, Oliver, go do this. But I don't know why I said that. Next time I'll take better notes.
Okay.
Somebody's going to do a feedback form on me. I do that at work when people don't have good notes.
At the by and large.
Yeah, I'll report them and be like, their notes weren't clear. And clearly, I'm just as bad as they are. And then Rose coming in to sniff the bread. That was weird.
That was kind of like, she didn't just like waft it. You know, like
she like stuck her face in it. I'm like, that's not sanitary. Leaning all over into it. Anything could have fallen in there. Where's the health department?
Jesus.
And then Chewie was talking about that he couldn't use the steaks because they froze the meat and it's not any good because people will get sick. Is that a thing? Because I put meat in the freezer all the time.
And I defrost it all the time.
And then if I forget to cook it, I put it back in there again and just keep doing it until I remember, which maybe that's bad.
I think that's not okay. I don't think if it's fresh, then you could freeze it and unthaw it. But I don't think you could keep freezing and unthawing it.
If it was already frozen once, just pretend you didn't thaw out and just go back in there.
Yeah, but it depends on how long you left it thawed.
If the cow was out in the cold, it would still be good.
A live cow?
Yeah, if the cow got too cold. I'm not a scientist, okay? But, And to everyone that's been to any dinner parties of mine or anything, don't mind that. But I feel like it's okay if I take meat out and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna cook this, and I realize, oh no, I'm not gonna get around to this. I don't want it to go bad.
But you don't refreeze it though.
So just let it go bad.
Not let it go bad, but
That's
like
expensive.
you can't keep freezing and unfreezing it.
What's the limit?
I don't know. Ask the FDA.
Okay, I will, and it should say on there like, do not refreeze, or is that just?
I feel like
knowledge?
it does say that somewhere.
I didn't get no tea. My throat hurt, and she
I
drinking
gave
tea
you
right in
water.
front of
I
me.
gave you the good water. That's the good water.
Be sounding like Dorothy in a minute. In the first couple of seasons, I felt like her voice was deeper. Mm-hmm. In what, Blanche? Dog years?
Maybe she got some bad reviews and she tried to lighten it up a bit.
This woman on a sidebar did, they were like interviewing people about the Golden Girls when it first came out in TV Guide, and she was saying that she didn't really, I think either she didn't care for the show, or I think she didn't care for B. Arthur specifically in the show. And B. Arthur saw it and looked her up in the phone book and called her and was like, hello, this is B. Arthur. I hear you don't like my show or something. And the woman was like, no, I got misquoted. Can you imagine B. Arthur calling you to be like, oh, so you don't like my show?
And don't.
But that's something I would do.
Right. And don't.
And for her to be so shy, apparently, she wasn't too shy for that. Mm-hmm. But getting back to Golden Palace, Blanche says thrice. A little fun fact. You know, I mean, clearly people do use the word.
And betwixt.
The microphone is sitting betwixt us.
It is in betwixt
And
us.
I noticed that for the commercial for the Barbara LeGrand show or the little promo, they used the Grab That Dough music.
They did.
Like, is the budget that small?
That.
Did they spend it on the hotel set to where they had to use that music again? Which they showed another time on the Golden Girls, unless they were just watching Grab That Dough again. And then Bobcat, I can't remember his last name, but he was on the show, and he kind of talks like this. I don't know if that's a good impression. Probably not.
It is.
Not as good as my Frida Claxton.
Never. Check that out in the previous episode.
You're the one with nothing going on in your bedroom window. Some of the things you're doing are illegal. I'm looking into it. You ain't got nothing else better to do than spy into her window, calling the police. And shout out to Matt Browning, the guy who wrote the book, the Golden Girls Cultural Reference Guide. Again, I don't read any of the books that I buy because I don't want to mess them up. Maybe I need to buy 2 of them.
Get the digital copy.
But he dressed up like Frida Claxton one year for Halloween, and he tweeted it. Very realistic, I'd say. What else did I write notes about? Where are your notes?
I said my 2 notes.
What were they? I must have missed
I
that.
didn't like the theme song. And I said Blanche was power tripping.
Riveting commentary.
Exactly.
The ice machine, I just want to point out, did they really used to look like that?
Yeah,
in hotels,
they did.
Where you just had to scoop it in?
Exactly. You had to scoop it.
How archaic.
Yeah. How unsanitary. Because what if somebody like just grabbed a handful of ice out of there? You know what I'm saying? And they had actual keys to the rooms. They were actual keys, not like key cards.
Yeah, because they didn't have that back then.
No.
Anybody could have made a copy and just
That's
came back.
saying.
Terrifying. That's where Magda should have stayed, because you didn't have to pay for ice over there like at Stanley's.
Okay. Cheap Stanley.
His rates are reasonable. The Nylon White House gift shop. So what the fuck was she talking about?
Because she said her and Charlie put all their money into running the gift shop outside of the White House.
Right, but that's so... Of all the things for them to write, that's so nonsensical that they were just gonna... So were they gonna move there? Did they bring the kids? You know, where were Kirsten and Bridget and Ganilla and Adam and Charlie Jr.?
How many kids they had?
It
6?
rotated.
Okay.
On Golden Palace, they always make it seem like she only has 2 daughters. They're always like, oh, the girls, your girls. What about the rest of them?
Right.
Where's Ganilla? But I feel like...
Ganilla.
That was just whose name? I thought it was Janilla or something. I don't know what I thought.
Janelle or something like that.
Yeah, but it's Ganilla apparently.
Wow.
Like
Manila and Gorilla.
Yeah, Manila. What's his name? Milla Gorilla or something?
Magilla Gorilla.
Hanna-Barbera. They had somebody posted like a little cartoon.
Yeah.
Remember when Scooby-Doo would have like the celebrity guests? And they did one, they drew the Golden Girls. I'm like, now I wish that was a thing.
Oh.
And I had like responded with like a little how I thought it would go. I don't remember what I wrote. I think it was like Rose saying, Dorothy, you think we should look for clues? And Dorothy says, no, Rose, we should stand here and wait to get eaten by the monster. And then Sophia says, if we get a chance, I vote we let the monster eat Rose first. And Blanche says something filthy about letting Fred eat her. Not appropriate. But
not for kids.
Like, I don't understand that because they also say that he sold insurance, and then she's like, "Oh, for a while," but then
Charlie?
he started selling horseshoes. So I'm like, okay, so he sold horseshoes, and then he sold his business to go to the White House. Like, no wonder they didn't have any damn money. I'm so ashamed of you,
mother.
And then Sophia rented out or had people pay to see the world's biggest baby. That's the only business she named. What about the pizza knish? I don't even know what a knish is.
Yeah. Because remember they had the business on the boardwalk and the Golden Girls. Wasn't that Sophia's business?
That was her too. And then she had a catering business. She had a lot of stuff, but this is what you mentioned, the world's biggest baby. The world's biggest baby. With an enormous head. Even when she's not on the show, B. Arthur's still getting dragged. And then...
Did she ever come visit?
She did.
She did.
And that was what everybody says is the only good episode. I mean, geez, I like Dorothy too, but damn, y'all are just acting like without her, the world stops moving.
It does.
Roland, when he went off about, I gotta check with you to say goodnight to him, and he was serious too.
I don't think he was being serious.
He seemed like, I am his foster parent. I'm like,
cool out, okay?
And how did you get him to be his foster parent? How? Like, it's not that easy to get a foster child. And then you're a single black man
with a little Caucasian boy,
and then you live in a hotel. That's sketchy. And is the ice machine on here twice? No, it's not.
Really about the ice machine.
I got some stuff confused. I got Martha Ray and Madge mixed up again. The ice headache. Again, back to Magda with a lot of callbacks here because he's like, I had an ice headache. And Magda was like, it's like knife through forehead. Yeah. It's really good. Who calls it an ice headache? I thought it was a brain freeze.
Brain freeze, same thing.
And I don't think I've ever had one. But you see how long it takes me to drink something, so no wonder I've never had one. I'll be drinking this. I feel like I'm going to keep this water throughout the podcast. It'll be like episode 35, still drinking this water.
Still drinking the water.
And then my final note, which I guess we already talked about, Blanche v. Roland, that they just are always going at it. But I like that she had a little foil, somebody to always bump heads with.
I don't know.
Such an anticlimactic end.
It was.
We got to get better at closing out the show.
This is the end? I wanted to talk about how Sophia had a hangover.
Yeah, like she should be dead.
She said she had 7 margaritas. She
was like 90 at this point.
Cool.
But she's like, I'm just whacked out on blood pressure medicine. She was always drinking with her medicine because even Dorothy was like, this mixes with your medicine. She's like, beautifully. But my stomach's growling. Maybe I need that dessert.
And then when Cheech Chong. Cheech.
And he about the weed.
About the weed,
like, do I look like I would smoke marijuana?
And she was like, well,
She seems so appalled.
You know what I mean?
Let the man get a little smoke.
Marijuana was frowned upon back then. But they did, like, crack, though. Like,
she's from the South. They were burning books and everything. So, Well, here we are. Into the contest.
Okay.
Why are we begging you? I should be begging you to send you some stuff.
We're not yelling at you. We're just really passionate.
You should be begging me
about we
just want to give you
wonderful memorabilia that we have to give away. To
I just want people to enjoy it, and like Dorothy, when she's going to be spending the money that Sophia left her. I want you to look at these things and say, we have this because of Barrett and Kay. Like the Betty White magazine for her 100th birthday. That's going to be a collector's item.
It is.
I bought a third one so I could sell it one day.
Really?
For like $1,000.
Did you put it, what is it? Not laminated.
It's just in a bag.
Okay.
I need to get some cases for my magazines.
Like those things that they put comic books in.
Yeah. I need that. But anyway, guys, thanks for listening. We're playing these out of order, just like the Golden Girls, just because we really wanted to get to those topics.
Hot topics.
Yeah. Tune in next time.
Something. Repurpose? No. Anyway, thank you for being
dragged out here. We got to think of more stuff to say, like that's our stuff. Like
we're supposed to tie in the topics to the show to other topics.
They have a hotel now. Okay, bye.
Later.
It's still recording, damn it! Glad we weren't talking shit about anybody.